ahead and go with that. But hear me out. The key is separation. And you keep determining you want to integrate. It's like a woman who's in love with a no good husband, no good man. He keep beating up. Everybody say, man, get away from her, man. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is the Hot Seat. So what I'm gonna do now is share what the Hot Seat is about. The Community Love Hub proudly presents the Hot Seat Cipher, a powerful therapeutic circle created to uplift, guide, and heal our young men. Rooted in the tradition of wisdom sharing between generations, the Hot Seat Cipher brings youth and elders together in a safe, respectful, and culturally grounded space. Here, one young man at a time is invited to take the hot seat, not to be judged, but to be heard. He shares his struggles, hopes, questions, and challenges, and in return, the entire circle pours into him with honest counsel, lived experience, emotional support, and direct connections to resources that can help him move forward. More than a conversation. The Hot Seat Cipher is a living community practice, a place where young men receive the guidance many have been missing, where elders reclaim their roles as teachers and protectors, and where healing is not a concept, but an action lived out in real time. For young men searching for direction, accountability, love, and belonging, the Hot Seat Cipher stands as one of the greatest resources available. It provides a judgment-free space to speak openly about real challenges, direct wisdom from elders who understand the path ahead, collective support that strengthens confidence and emotional resilience, connections to mental health, educational, and community resources, a sense of brotherhood that empowers young men to grow into strong, grounded leaders. In a world where many young men feel unheard or misunderstood, the Community Love Hub makes one promise. No young man sits alone. In the Hot Seat Cipher, he is seen, supported, and guided toward the best version of himself. And this is the Hot Seat.
Let's go.
Let's get it.
Today in the Hot Seat, we got my man, Antoine Hall. Renowned artist, rapper, musician, all the above. My man doing a lot out here, but today, he come to share his story, and we're gonna learn a little bit more about him today. Let's go.
Yeah, I do. So we was talking off camera a little bit, but I still wanted to dig into more about your story. Like you said, your journey into being an artist. You shared, that first time you got in the studio. But now that you know that you are good, I heard him. He is good, y'all. What is your? I'll just start this. What is your vision though with this, right? Since you said you came in, I guess, finding love for it. You love it. So what is like the vision for you now, since you know that you got the skills for this? Like, what's your vision for it?
So one of my favorite artists is J. Cole, and he said, try to picture yourself at the highest peak possible, and even if you feel like you can't obtain it, just like make that your standard. So for me, I think just being able to conquer my fears, and perform live, uh, and being on the stage of hundreds of thousands of people and just being able to communicate, properly, like how I feel before I even start like rapping and people hearing my talent, and just be like present in that moment. Um, and this is like side note. A while ago, I was having a conversation with one of my family members, probably like a couple of days ago, and we was talking about how when we young, it's hard for us to be present in like everything that's going on being a child. So like now I'm like, dang, I gotta be present in these moments. Like right now I'm present. But when we was kids, like we just so busy like moving. That's why we always in search of like, dang, I wish I can go back and do this. So like a part of me like always try to like be present in the moments. So I want to one day be on those stages and just be able to just like, all right, I lived a life, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, take all of it in, and just reach whatever pinnacle God has me, being able to reach. So yeah, that's it.
What's some of the challenges and stuff like that that you've dealt with along the way, personal and career wise?
The the biggest challenge is finances. When it comes to like being an artist, you pretty much on a ship by yourself. Um, you're trying to do a video shoot, you gotta get up the money for the video shoot. Trying to get people as a collective to bring your art to life. Nobody's showing up, so you have to figure out ways to be creative, um, when you can't properly put your vision out there. Um, that's one thing. Having writer's block, feeling like you have to uh, keep up with the Joneses and be relevant. You have to constantly keep putting out music every 5 seconds because everybody's attention span is like it's like this. Because you're not a household name, uh, you can't just do music and be away for a whole year because then nobody's gonna remember anything that you was doing. Um, it's a lot. Even going down to like trying to figure out what to wear, trying to create a whole style for yourself, your image, working an everyday job, and then in your mind you tell yourself I'm a full-time artist. So it's like I gotta step out the house as a full-time artist. Then you have people who criticize artists who working at Chick-fil-A, and then they see him performing like, oh, what you the artist who blah blah blah. No, it's unfortunate, but like you have to deal with stuff like that. You know, me personally, I think that probably be the biggest issue, like finances, trying to get people engaged, um, and having a love-hate relationship. Um, Having a love-hate relationship with trying to figure out, do you want to continue to keep um, doing music because you get in a certain age, or the area that we in is not fully engaged to this type of sound because nobody wants to hear conscious rap no more. Everybody want to hear drill or gangster rap or just go. This area just about go. Everybody still have that crab in the bucket mentality. But we all know that it's a crab in the bucket mentality and choose not to, engage in it. Like, it's it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot.
personally, like ever, like, we talked about the career challenges. I feel like them like your career challenges, but anything like personally happened in your life that like you was focused on music, but because this happened, it, like took you or veered you off from here.
So I wouldn't say that uh it stopped me from like trying to pursue music. But I think like when my father had passed, it kind of like put a battery in my back. And in a way, in the most humblest way though. So my father passed away from cancer. I think it's probably about to be 3 years now, if not 3 years, 2 years. Time is moving fast. So I had went out California, took a few flights out there to go see him in his last few stages, and help him through his final steps, and took him to the last place to eat and stuff like that. But in the hope, the process of watching this happen, and I'm still thinking about putting a documentary out about this, but I'm iffy because my siblings, because I got video footage of how my father and stuff was, and I'm trying to be conscious of like how other people will view it. But watching him in that stage makes you appreciate life more. And anybody who has dealt with I'm not even gonna say a parent, a family member who has cancer and had to watch them deal with the things that they had to deal with, it changes your, it making you think like none of this stuff is important. It's like, is when you start getting into arguments with your girlfriend and your family about petty stuff, it really just draw you back in like, this really don't matter. But they will take it as, oh, you just don't care. You be like, nah, I'm just in a total different headspace now. I don't care is my I don't care, and I had to explain this to somebody else the other day because they take my I don't care as F you or you don't care about the situation. It's like, no, life is bigger than this moment. And when we look back on this, you're gonna wish we didn't do this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so but yeah, so to bring it back, I really didn't have any too much like challenges of like wanting to stop music or anything. But like I said, it's more so motivation to want to be better, do better, and just live to the fullest. And that's the part I'm trying to get to, because I'm such a on the move person. Like, you got to catch me in the moment. That's why I say I'm so like big on trying to stay present. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always moving. But those are things I'm still trying to battle within myself.
You know, one thing I admired how you was talking about, not being famous and trying to put your music out. Also, saying being consistent. But I hope you realize that we are trendsetters, and you are a trendsetter. And don't think people don't want conscious rap. People love it. And it's the number one thing that's missing in our community, is for us to get back to how we really feel. Because what we hear now, that's just an effect. We're not dealing with the cause. Conscious rap dealt with the cause. Now, today's rap, we're dealing with the effect. Okay, I'm popping my, whatever the rap is, it's about an effect and not what's causing me to feel like this. What produced this environment for me? See what I'm saying? We trendsetters. Everybody's begging for conscious rap. Believe it. People looking for it. So if you stay steadfast what you doing, trust me, there's no limits to where you going. Everybody's waiting on the conscious rap to come back. And you the trendsetter. And I'll say that as a previous artist. I was doing a show, thousands of people were down in Philadelphia for WDAS and Power 99. And when I got off the stage, I was known as, the radio station gave me the title. I was known as MC Philly Slick, right? Back in the day, old school. But when they started putting me out, you know what they added to my name? The rapper with a conscience. I never gave myself that name. They saw me as that. You know why? I was talking about conscience, how I really feel. See what I'm saying? So, and when I got off the stage, I promise you, the people was lined up waiting to buy my music. We didn't have the devices that we have today. And do you know all my music was like on digital and discs and stuff like that, but I didn't have, later on I got it out. But when all the people was lined up, I had nothing to sell them. Because I didn't believe, you know what I'm saying? Thinking people didn't want conscious rap or whatever. You the trendsetter. Keep going, believe in yourself. There's no stopping you. Keep setting that trend. We love it. We love it.
I wouldn't, and that's another thing. I'm not really doing it. If you start doing it for me personally, if you start doing it for people, and then you're trying to people please. I'm not doing it for everybody else. I'm writing about things that go on in my life, how I feel about the moment, because sometimes it's not just conscious rap. It just may just be like just me. I haven't did it, but like whatever I'm feeling at the moment, I'm just writing about. But I don't want to make the music to please the people. I make my music for me, and if you can relate to it, then then those are the people that's going to be attracted to it. Because people pleasing is the hardest thing because everybody's emotions change, and then one minute you like chess, so I learn how to play chess, and like, nah, I'm on checkers now. All right, I'm gonna learn how to play checkers then. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
right. Beautiful thing.
It's one thing you gotta do. You gotta lock in. I will say, for me, you get the naysayers and stuff like that. So you have to really believe in what you're doing. You can't even worry about what everybody else is doing, whether, we think that they don't want this or don't want that, or don't want to hear this or don't want to buy that. Like, one thing you got to do is believe in what you're doing. When you believe, lock in on what you're doing, and you like, I'm going to make this happen regardless, then you it's an energy that starts to pull people towards what you're doing anyway.
right. And that's what I was saying earlier. That one of our biggest issues is not so much as the art itself or people. It's the battle within yourself, like trying to overcome that part as an artist, like that dark place. But I do got a question for y'all though, like it's random, but if you can give yourself, what's the best advice you ever got that you still like hold on, that sticks with you to this day?
Don't stop. I'm one of the people who, so when I was younger, and I was in drug gang, certain goals that I believed in that I was shooting for, I've heard other people tell me don't stop, but I told myself. Then fast forward, I started watching movies, The Pursuit of Happiness, um, The Founder, the McDonald's movie. And I realized that most of the time when you're right there at winning, you feel like giving up. And the most important key that I took from everything was don't stop. If you stop, you know what goal you see. You said you want to be able to be on stage, 100,000 people out there looking at you in your craft while you're in the present moment, but they watching you for you. J. Cole basically said, go to the pinnacle. How do you get there? Don't stop. If you stop, that goal that God has put in your mind because this is the battleground. I'm with you on that. I understand this wholeheartedly, being not a rap artist, but being an artist, author, one who does inspirational speaking, the whole nine. I know what God told me 12 years ago. And if I stop and give up at any point, I do not touch the goal. Greatest thing I can tell you. You know what God done told you. Do not stop. I don't care what your mind says, because this is the battleground. This is where tricks are being played at, where the war is at. It's not even out here. This right here is your playground. This is the battleground. And if you can get past here by not stopping, by not giving into emotions and feelings, by not letting anything that you see out here, because this is supposed to do everything it's supposed to do. It's supposed to go against you. But if you stop, you don't make it.
I would say that too. I just heard it yesterday. We were looking at a documentary with Nipsey, but I heard it a while back when I was like on my journey and trying to get to where I'm at now. He said, Nip said, you closer. Why I stopped? Because you closer to where you going than where you started at. You know what I mean? So why stop now? Right? I had to take that in yesterday because even with business, right? Had the store going on 5 years now. We still it's still a roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? And I got that feeling in the beginning of the year. Sometimes it's about that, okay, it's a major change that's coming, prepare, right? And then sometimes your mind play tricks on you. It's like, oh, this is it right here. This might be the end for you. You know what I mean? And you have to talk yourself out of that. I still go through that. And I was just going through that now. You know what I'm saying? This week, last week, you know what I mean? And kind of trying to refocus my mind on, I started reflecting on, how far God done brought me and where I started this at. You know what I mean? I had to like check myself, like, man, why are you thinking like, don't be you thinking crazy right now? What you doing? You know what I mean? Look at where you started at and where you at now. You know what I mean? So we always gonna have to check ourselves at times, and we're gonna go through that emotional roller coaster ride. But the one thing about that is the consistency and being able to keep going. You know what I mean? Don't stop, because once you stop and you get that attitude and you let that take over,
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. For real.
Oh man, definitely that. Don't stop the consistency. But it's been so many, you know, advice that I stick with me since I was a youngin. It was a poem my mom used to have in the room, but it was, I was a god. That was one of them. Then as you get older, it's that saying, what is it? Accept the things you cannot change.
Courage to change
right.
you can. Yeah,
And
that's
the
bad
courage
prayer.
to change what
the
you
things
can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So that right there stuck with me because it's like, man, everything happens for a reason. So, and then branching off of that is also, God doesn't put nothing in your path that you can't, handle. So if I know as a obstacle in front of me, as a trial, a struggle in front of me, I know it's the reason it's in front of me. I can figure it out. Otherwise, that trial wouldn't be there. But now it's just thinking, all right, how do I navigate this issue, right? And so I'm with these brothers with the saying, you got to keep going, and that sticks with me. Just this life, man. We gotta move. Like you said, you mentioned something as artists about the financing, right? And I work with artists, and my question I always ask them is, do you want to be famous, or do you love this? You want fame or money out of it? That's really the general surface question I ask. But that answer helps me navigate the mindset. Like, if you want fame, then I'm not the guy for you. But if you really love this and you want to make a living out of this, then we could do something, right? So and that's what you can change, right? Fame, fame necessarily. I mean, yes, it's a choice, but that's an avenue that's not in your control. When you really break it down, what's in your control is, can you build a community, and then off that community you can live off your art, no matter what it is. I take that advice for myself, man. Even with what I just said, man. I'm an entrepreneur, man. You gotta kill. You gotta eat what you kill out here.
Yes,
But I never get stressed out no more. I really don't, for real. If it's stress do come my way, it's the people around me. My loved ones are stressing out. Then you wishing you can help them a little bit more than you can. That's probably the stress. But on a personal level, man, that advice of that you're a God, or He don't put nothing in your path, the serenity player, man. I'm so at ease and at peace with me personally. It's just now the focus is to get the community to be at peace, right? That's the stressor now. Why we haven't united and done something together? That's the stressor. But that, I would just say, man, that's the best advice, because I move like that. Nothing bothers me, bro. Nothing bothers me. You know what I'm saying? And
I would say best advice I ever heard was to know yourself. You hear I'm a god, I'm a king, but to really know who you are, and to know that you are the only man on the planet that does not have a birth record. I got that from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. The black man, he don't have a birth record. You can't find his birth record, right? Every other nationality, Japanese, Chinese, Spaniard, European, they all have a date where their civilization began except you. So who are you? If you have no beginning, the more the archaeologists dig up bones millions of years old, they keep digging, they find bones millions of years older than that in Africa. They don't know when you began. So when they say to you, you are God, who are you? It means you have no beginning. They can't find your beginning, so you've been here. Don't think this is just a new dynamic that you're dealing with. You've been here for trillions. You've been here. It's a lot of people inside of you. You are makeup of all of them. So everything in you is bound. I mean, it's unlimited progress. Nothing can stop you. And as everybody said, you stay consistent and know who you are. Don't worry about the surroundings. Know who you are. Like you were just saying, being present, but being present with yourself. Who is who am I? I'm the origin of man. Huh? I'm the originator of man. Huh? I'm the beginning. I'm the creator of man. I'm a self-created man. You're a powerful being. So understanding that, I take you as they were saying, unlimited progress. That was the best advice I heard. Yeah.
This is more so a question for you, dear brother. I don't have no doubt in my mind that you can't reach your goal. My question is, once you reach it, right? Are you making music to like tickle people's ear, or do you actually want to create a culture with your music?
None of that stuff matter to me. Like I said, it's for me. I can't. I spent most of my life helping people and pleasing people. How many times have you helped somebody 100,000 times and you told them no one time? Man, you ain't never do nothing to me. You ain't never.
They blow up, right?
It becomes a big thing, and then you start realizing, like, you know what? I can't please you. Your taste buds constantly change. So if I've reached my the pinnacle that I plan to reach, I'm still gonna be the same person. It's all for me, because it's like I'm I'm good. I've reached a place of I don't even want to say happiness. It's a goal, and I just find another goal. That's all it is. And after that, I'll try to reach out and help get somebody else to help them reach their goals. Because I had a mentor in my life who um, who was paying me out of his pocket because they seen us doing work in the community, working doing stuff at the rec center. And it's like, come and cut my grass. You know what I'm saying? So we go cut his grass. And then one day he told me, he's like, you know, maybe you're gonna be in position one day when you able to reach back and help somebody. He didn't have to do this. He seen us, you know what I'm saying? He wanted he seen the way our life was. He seen that we wasn't running around in the streets. And he seen that we was a part of the community. So he was like, you know what? I just take a ride with me. We start helping him clean up his houses, start cutting the grasses, cleaning out some of the cars because he had a car lot. And then when he lost his job, he was paying us what he could out of his pocket. He did not have to do it. So when I see people like that and give me an example of like, all right, this is what it looks like to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't grow up with my father in my house. I had father figures, and that can be a whole nother story because people feel like if their father not in the house, you can't be a man or like God puts so many men in your life, sometimes you just ignore it. You know what I'm saying? So your neighbor across the street been giving you game for years, but it's just, are you willing to open your mind and allow yourself to receive these gems that's being dropped? But no, full circle. I'm gonna continue to do it for myself because I genuinely like love music with a deep passion. I hear it differently, and when I finally get to that point, I'm gonna just reach back and help other people obtain their goals, and I'm gonna continue to find other goals to work towards.
You asked us a question about I guess you could say the greatest thing that we had taken on, but I'm gonna give you what I can give you. Trust God, trust the process. What does that always mean? Even hearing Prince just speak about how the situation looks crazy at this moment from time to time, because he was just in the battleground in his mind. And I share with people, always go back to one place. Your past should tell you more about you than anything. It should tell you that you're a fighter. It should tell you that you can overstand whatever heat comes your way. It should let you know how you built for it. And this is me talking to you this time. You didn't know that this would exist. You here. You didn't know that you would be doing the music that you're doing right now. You're here. You didn't know that you would feel the peace that you feel in this moment. Me, according to man, I don't supposed to be here. According to man, this year, I supposed to be coming home out of prison. I couldn't have told you that when I was 14 to 24 selling drugs that I would be an artist, author, any of this stuff. But I got enough past experience that tells me one thing. I can go through hard things and become. You know this. When nobody was buying your stuff out there in DC, and you kept going because you did not stop. God already had all this ordained, even just this night. We're here for a reason.
That's two things that was happening though that people really it's it's, it's two things that's happening right there. You got faith and work.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times people be like, man, I prayed about it. And I cannot stand when I hear that, because it's like you really have to still go. Like I always say this, no matter what direction you decide to take, God gonna be with you. You know what I'm saying? You show him, you tell him what you want. You just gotta just go. You gonna have obstacles. You gonna. It's amazing, and yeah, that's from me hearing that, like you was out there, you selling the good clothes and nobody's buying it. Like that in itself is motivational to people because you hear. I got, and it's the way life is funny because it has these butterfly trickle effects, right? I'm encouraging one of my friends who has a clothing line constantly come down to the store to talk to you just to pick your head. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be able to even say that to him if you didn't continue to put in your work. You know what I'm saying? So um it's a blessing.
Man, Chaz, you brought him, and I'm glad you actually brought this up. And this goes off what you just said, but it falls back. The serenity prayer says, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There's only one thing you can change, that you need courage to even change. That is me. I can't do shit about nothing outside of here. I can't change nobody's mind. I can't get nobody come in the store. I can't help nobody else to move in the way I need them to move. That's God's problem. My only thing is to figure out what I can do in me and through me to change me. And when I do so, everything that you want comes to pass. You gain that peace. You gain that peace of mind that says, you know what? I'm not even gonna put a lot of stress on my mind or my body, knowing that this is gonna work itself out. I'm not here for no reason, but the purpose that I'm here for. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a purpose. The music that you make is not for you. It's for you because this is what God has given you. He's treating you like the radio. He's giving it, feeding people through you. But for you, it's me who got to make this music. It's me what I feel that I got the comfort, and everybody else just get the byproduct.
I got something to say to that too, because even if I didn't put it out, if the Lord wanted it out in the universe, somebody's gonna get it. I was talking to somebody not too long ago. It was my grandmother. She was like, I knew about Uber. I had the idea of Uber before Uber was even a thing. And that's, you know what I'm saying. So it's like a lot of times, I don't. Everybody probably had that. I mean, I thought about that first. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, was you moved? Did you put in the work to get it out there? Because it's waiting for anybody. Those we all collectively are one. It's out there. So it's like I'm giving you that vision. Do you want to put it out there? All right, cool. I'm gonna go on to the next person. It's another one. It's another vision out there waiting for you. But I see you don't want to put the work in for it. I'm gonna go to the next person. All right, cool. And then somebody go put in that work.
I want to go on all but everybody just said. We exist in society. So God made us social beings. Social means we're dependent upon one another for survival. If you ever heard the term, music soothes the soul of the savage beast, well, if you study your ancestors, you'll see along the Nile Valley in the temples, they wrote about music and the soul. And how they wrote about it was they put a hieroglyphic of a serpent, a snake. A man could play a flute, and he can make a cobra rise above his low nature and stand erect, and he'll never bite him if he played the right tune. So they put the serpent right next to the vertebrae of the human being, your backbone. And at the top of your backbone is a what they call the pineal gland, or your third eye, right? And the vertebrae and the serpent makes the same movement. And so our ancestors studied the soul for over 300,000 years. 300,000 years. Now imagine that. It's a long study. They came up with the concept that it was the coming together of the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain that produced the soul. And they said it was the rising up of the soul is what they said brought out what they call the sun and button, or the supreme good in the original man. So they said that music puts you in harmony with the creator, but it has to be the right kind of music. It couldn't be below the navel. It had to be above to tap into your third eye. That's how you tap into the universe and all that's good. So you a powerful being. Don't keep your music going, man. You take that music to a whole nother realm and you'll save people's lives. You'll be surprised how many people going through the exact same. I lost both my parents from cancer. You'll know who feeling you. You'll be surprised how many people will relate to you, bro. I'm telling you, you'll save folks and you'll change the whole dynamic.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of people always ask me this question, and it's not irritating, but it's like trying to explain this. My writing process, I always say I don't know where it comes from. I say I can't. It takes me a long time to write. I say because it's really. I say this all the time. It's not coming from me. You know, if I could, anybody can just start putting words together. I said, but I don't do that. Like I listen to a beat. If the frequency not right, it's not moving something in me. And I said after that, like words just come. I just take a long time and I just start writing. But it has to be a certain frequency, and it has to flow right.
That's the God in you, man.
You had me touch, y'all had me touch that hot seat a little bit tonight too, because they're for real. But you don't have to worry about whether people want to hear something or not, right? You make the music because it feel good to you. But like you just said, you don't know where the message comes from, but we know where the message comes from. When you really think about it, you know where the message comes from, right? So we do hold a responsibility, even though we don't want to at times, to the people that surround us. And it's important for you to put it out there. I think that's one of the things that gets to me sometimes, because I understand that this wasn't for me, it was for other people. So I bear the responsibility at times of making sure that things are still going and going the way it is. And that's the part that stresses me out at times, that make me feel like it's a roller coaster, because I'm like, am I doing it good enough? You know what I mean? Am I living up to what God want me to live up to? So that's the thing that bears on me from time to time. But I understand that it's a responsibility that I have to keep going, right? You know, failing is not the option. But if I'm falling, I'm gonna do my best not to stay down, right? So once you realize too, as you continue to make music, because your music is great. Like I tell Eric, like, they'll probably see, so we might do a commercial break in the middle of this, and it'll be you performing. You know how we do, especially on the other show for the culture. But yeah, man, you gotta accept that you was given that gift. It don't belong to you, right? It doesn't belong to you, but you was gifted with it. So, you know, horn in on it, take care of it,
Give it away.
and give it away. Yeah. Give it to the people. It's important. That's why, you know, we here. We all have a purpose. And that's your purpose. You just have to go all the way in on it. Full throttle.
I'm gonna piggyback off that. What? So they said trees, they produce fruit, but they don't eat it. The people do. What you create is technically, we are nothing but trees. God made us creators. So whatever we produce is not for us. It's for people. Now, what you're called to do is be the bearer of what it is you produce. And in you creating or in you producing, what happens is you get to feed people, but you get to feed the souls of people through words. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. This is the reason why our words are so powerful. This is the reason why Brother Raymond was actually talking about what the words, when you actually saying the right stuff, how it can bear the fruit and change the mindset of folks.
I always say, watch how you talk to yourself.
I've been telling people all this year, you have look, when it says death and life is in the power of the tongue, you have artists that have rapped and literally killed themselves. Listen to Pac and Big, I hate to say it, life after death. When you think about the words that they were using, technically they killed themselves. Yes, things happen, but we get to create life. If you go and you Google the word future, it says a moment or a period in time after speaking or writing. That lets you know that the words that come out of my mouth, I can create my future. If we created in God's image, that and God spoke, what do we have the power to do? The same. The thing that it says about the past is anything, it says a moment, a period in time before speaking or writing. Everything is your past. You want to see yourself on the stage, write that down, speak that every day in front in time. I can't tell you when. Another thing that I learned about trees, and I love trees, is that you can't tell a tree when to produce fruit.
I really like that I don't know who I was having a conversation with about this, but I think some of the most powerful messages come from trees.
I promise you.
But it's not even the tree. I always say it's the seed.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seed, I'm like, if you think about what a seed can do,
It has the power to be whatever it
whatever
to be.
whatever it wants. And then not even just that, it created so much more after that. Yeah.
Nutrients and the fruits and all that.
They talk about the having the faith of a mustard seed. Like it's like everything is like it's always goes back to a seed.
But that is the seed is your untapped thought. It's just the thought before anything was created. And that comes whether it's him out in Richmond starting a brand. But the seed was the thought. Once the seed popped out the ground, that was him actually putting the clothing together and starting to sell it. This is just part of the tree that's feeding other people. Your music.
Can I stop you right
Go
there
ahead.
for a second? Because I want to touch on something that most people don't really like talk about, and it's people like you, right? We talk about the person, but we don't talk about the support that we have, right? Right now, y'all giving support. We don't really talk about it, and the way you support your brothers and encourage, you know what I'm saying? You gotta that stuff like that. I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? We can't get nowhere in life without a support system at all. Like I that's why I said when I'm doing all this work, I'm like, I need people. You know what I'm saying? We can't get far. What was the saying when they said if you want to go
Fast, go alone.
and
If you want to go far, go together.
you know what I'm saying?
African
it's
proverb.
important to have when you're going through a heartbreak. When you going through a heartbreak, having the right support around you, grieving, having the right support around you. You can't live this life by yourself. You go, matter of fact, they make you in prison, they put you by yourself to make you go crazy, right?
But you're amongst people too. And if you got, to your point, if you got the right support, the reason why I'm the person that I am, God allowed a group of men who had already went through everything that they had went through and they became who they was becoming. And they poured into me. Iron sharpens iron. When you get brothers that are with you and for you, then what happens, you only become the best version while you are sharpening them to become the best version of them. We can't do nothing but grow and become the best versions of us, especially when you get around the right folks.
That's a good point. That shows you the power of our unity.
Man.
That's the number one solution to all our problems, is unity. So this is why, and you don't realize like the power of a word. As he was just saying, they say in the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Then the Word became flesh and dwelt among men. You're writing words. Those words are coming to you, right? So those words, what makes a word powerful? We hear to say, God says be, and it is, right? How does that happen? A word creates sound. Sound travels at 1,120 feet per second. Sound produces vibrations. Vibrations move things. So everything you see in here is moving. Whether it look like it's sitting still, this chair, everything is moving. It's just moving on a slower, the molecules are right, slower frequency, but everything is moving. But your words is moving things. Don't never forget that. And you move with I like what you just said. How do I talk to myself? And that faith for that mustard seed, when you get down and there's nothing left, all you have is your word. Your word is that faith for that seed. When you speak in that word, you make that seed flourish, or you can make that seed stay dormant and never produce.
What I want to share with you also is this, especially rap artists.
I don't want to say I'm not rap artist.
No, but I'm just for the people who are listening. But they know how to use their words, maybe not always intentionally, but when you use it intentionally, you can become rich or wealthy by what you speak, but you can also make other people wealthy by what you speak, because they're going to rap these same words off or speak these same words back. And what happens is sets in our spirit. When the reason, think about drill music over the last, since 2012, 10, give or take.
Drill music probably came out around about 2016, somewhere around.
Well, I want to say it was
2015.
because they was doing it in Chicago about 2010, 2012.
Oh yeah, Chief Keef, right?
So
yeah, for sure.
This is what happens with music, and it's one of the most. It can calm the soul, but it can create rage. What happened is they created a genre, and this genre touched the world. Now we're seeing murder especially in our communities. We can't see in everybody else's, but we can see in ours because they got a magnified glass on our community. However, what happens, it went everywhere. The same thing happens when you speak peace, love, anything inside this music, it'll heal the whole community. It's when we find the right artist and exploit that, it will change the entire community because of our words. But wealth can come from it. Anything that you want come from this, because y'all have been given. If you look up Judah means praise. If you're not praising God, you're praising the enemy. Or, as he said, higher self, lower self. What are you using your mouth to speak into people? Because, to your point, they're going to hear it regardless to what God got going to get it, whether it's through you or through somebody else. And I'd rather be through you because I know what you're going to speak into people. I know it's going to be something that uplifts the soul.
See, as he's saying, you're the new upcoming artist, and as you said, it just comes to you. But that's coming from a higher realm. So that's telling you right there, as they said, you're meant to do something great. Now, when you understand that greatness that's coming through you is something that will, as he just said, change the whole entire dynamic of the world, right? The reason why they fought, as I was saying earlier, they fought conscious rap, what we call. Why? The guys, what they were saying. You look at an old school rap like "Don't Push Me" because I'm close to the edge, right? That was the beginning of conscious rap. The man was saying, I'm fed up. A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. God is smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you'll go through. You'll grow up in the ghetto, live a second rate. Your eyes will sing a song of the hate. The place you live, where you stay, looks like one great big alleyway. You'll admire all the drug dealers, all that. You see what I'm saying? So don't push me, because I'm close to the edge. But my thing is, he was talking about going to prison, how you get locked up, selling drugs. Everybody related. So we would walk around, man, don't push me, I'm close to the edge, man. And we understood each other. Then it evolved into going against everything that was negative. And everybody loved it. The whole community loved it. And it took off. And that's what I was saying. What you have is no stopping it. Keep it going, as Prince said, put everything in it. When you get those higher realms, man, put it all down. I'm telling you, put it all down and put it out. And you're going to be surprised what your words, going back to that seed, is going to do for the world, man. I'm telling you, you're special, brother.
Put a seed in.
We're all special, but you got to get special. You understand?
Yeah.
You put a seed in the ground. You don't look for a seed back. You look for a harvest.
No, I agree. The I do want to touch on something that when you were saying you had acquired this peace, the way like nothing pretty much bothers you unless it's like family related. I had that same feeling a couple of days ago. So mind you, when last time we had this segment, y'all had the segment, I couldn't make it because I had found out that my mother had cancer, and when I found out, I was at work, and my sister had called me, and it was kind of triggering because of my father situation. But the way she called me, my sister called me, was like, she just called me crying, "Mommy's at stage 4," and so I'm just like, so now I'm trying to put her in a place to get her calm and calm her down. So I told my job, I said, look, I gotta go, I gotta deal with some family stuff. I went home and I said, you know what? I'm about to just lay down and go to sleep and rest for a second. I got up and I prayed and I said, I'm not worrying no more. And after that, I literally, and I don't like to use this word because everybody take it wrong. I don't care because it's not my problem. It's God's problem. You know what I'm saying? When they say, cast your worries, you really have to just don't care about it because it's really, I can't do nothing about it. I cannot do nothing about it. And it's funny because I tell people all the time, if something bad happens, somebody died or whatever it is, do not call me at nighttime. Just let me get some sleep. It's like I can't do nothing about it. You know what I'm saying? So let me get some sleep and we'll worry about it in the morning. But I think I'm at that point now, or learning, or it's starting to activate where I just I'm truly just allowing stuff to whatever it is. If I'm able to control that situation, and which I really can't, if I if I'm able to do something, I'll do it. Other than that, I'm my hands is washed clean from it. And I told my sister, I said, look, whether through death or life, I said we're gonna be all right. I said I can't do this no more. It's after a while it becomes too much, putting so much on yourself. I've been putting stuff on myself since I was a kid. My father used to tell me all the time, son, you can't save the world. In my head, I'm just trying to help out everybody. I always say this too. I'm a vessel to be used. You know what I'm saying? I never was one of those, everything's about me type of person. I always was focused on other people. But now I'm getting to the point where I'm really just trying to hone in on who I am as a person, what my needs are, and whatever my light is, it's gonna spread out to the rest of the people. You know what I'm saying? So, but I think that's a good thing, and that's what I'm trying to aim towards, just finding that peace.
And when I say at peace, because it's more so you come to terms with whatever God has, he got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like we're dealing with, because a lot of people, we losing a lot of people though. You know what I'm saying? Death is, and it's crazy, right? But it's the only thing that's promised. And and you said something, we have to become more selfless, and you'll understand that process when you're selfless, because now you look at things with a different type of lens of gratitude, right? I can't control this sickness that my family member going to, but I can thank you, because a lot of people, they cuss God out, you know what I'm saying? But I can thank him for letting me experience this person for how many, an X amount of years. So I'm at peace with what God has in store. Like I said, because we all really can't be at complete peace if the whole is not got it figured out, right? So I understand that part, right? And so that's when the stresses do come. It's like, man, when we gonna figure this out? But I am at peace with, man, God got it. You know what I'm saying? Because like my man said, man, I ain't supposed to be here. I always say this, I'm playing with house money. Like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? All these times God got me through, I'm not even supposed to be here right now.
Statistically, I ain't supposed to be here either. I'm truly not supposed to be here.
But you're supposed to be
But
here.
I'm
Ain't it
supposed
crazy?
to.
You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
I'm like, and now in my head, I always tell myself I'm gonna live forever. So I like that's just me standard. I'm like I'm gonna live forever. But I do. Anytime problems occur in my life, I never blame God. I never like curse. You know what I always do? I always ask a question, like one question. Nah, I always ask, what is it that I need to learn from this situation? Like, what is it that you want me to learn? Because I feel like it's a lesson in every single thing. So I'm like, it got to be. I'm like, dang, it got to be something you need me to learn from this because it's like, it has to be. So
You know, I like what you said about how you be trying to help everybody. See, we as a community, it's like if your mother is my mother, Prince's mother, Carlos' mother is my mother, Chad, she's broke, they my mother. Your son is my son. Your sister is my sister. See, that's the only way a community can feel one another. Other than that, you numb. So what happens if you take off and you put a rubber band around your finger and let your finger, that blood stop and you stop, you don't feel nothing in that finger, it gets numb, it dies. So we as a community, the reason why we're dying is because we became so insensitive to one another. We numb. We don't feel each other no more. And until we feel each other, that's when we come back alive and we rise as a people. But as long as we sitting around and we saying, hey, that's your problem, that's your brother, that's we done. We numb, man. We done.
Can I ask y'all something?
Yes.
Do y'all feel like social media plays a part in desensitizing? Because I'm so
No doubt about
I
it.
literally
Beautiful point.
I don't like
Beautiful point.
watching people get killed online. I don't like seeing because you seeing it so often. Like it's just like it's hard for me to feel for you because I'm constant. It's like you become numb to the violence. Like and it's happening so often in your family and it's like it's not that I don't care about you. It's just I'm seeing it so often. It's like I knew it was gonna happen or I knew it's too much. And I really think they need to stop showing stuff like that online. And I battle with it because some stuff we need to see like police brutality and it's happening. But it's like I'm so tired of seeing that. I'm so tired of seeing police brutality because it's like you get in the headspace where. I'll give you an example. When I walk through stores, I keep my hands in my pocket. That's trauma.
Yeah, because
You know,
it can happen.
Yeah, I've been like that for a long time. I used to always keep my hands in my. Until this day, I may go through certain stores and I just keep my hands in my pocket. Only because I don't want people looking at me a certain way or feeling like I'm a threat, and that's really sad because everything is being televised. Everything. And so like we seeing how people get treated when they're doing nothing. So it's like I got to do more nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is my more nothing. Just putting my hands in my pocket.
But see, you said something about social media, and that's where now we have to change that dynamic, right? So that's really a microcosm of how we all do, right? You see this on social media, we all put our hands in our pocket, right? We kind of dim ourselves doing that, right? So now we have to, when we talk about accepting things we cannot change, shine your light now at this point. You go into this store, because you're the artist, you go into that store head high, whatever comes. And then, because you might attract another person that's like-minded, right? So now, because the enemy, they working together to do what they do. We now, on the other end, have to do that now. Like we do it solo, we do our mission solo, but we not we not doing it together because I'm not saying you. I'm just speaking as a whole. We all, and I feel you. We all put our hands in our pocket. Like I don't want no smoke. You know what I'm saying? But now, God is at a time. He putting it upon us, ones who got our minds straight for the most part. Stop putting your hands in your pocket. Go in there, shine, and so light can come together, and we can change this thing. So that's what we got to do. Yeah.
Hey, come on, friends. I was about to say, I hope I'm not out of line, but said, we at war, man. We at war. And so if a man comes up and punches you in the mouth, as Dr. Avery used to say, man, I'll be pleased with it, and blood is dripping all out of your mouth, it does not matter whether or not if you swing back, you still in a damn fight. And so we've been hit in the mouth, we leaking, and we still don't think we in a fight. And this is why our unity comes in. As long as they can keep me saying, let me kill it, words, a nigga ain't nothing, I mean lay him down or whatever, but all those words, the negative words that we say toward each other, keep that dynamic so we keep the eye of the enemy. We forget that we leaking. We forget that we've been punched in the mouth. We forget all about, who we got to deal with as an enemy. And until that is challenged and faced, I'm talking about as men.
Yeah.
I ain't talking about putting your hand in the pocket. No, men. Listen, enough is enough. I grew up in a racial city in Philadelphia. I went to, when I was going to school, we were bused. They threw the young brother over the bridge. I'm talking about 14, 12-year-olds shooting us down, sniping us from the roof while we going to school because our school was in an all-white neighborhood. Guess what? You know what they kept telling us? You gotta let justice prevail. Every time we waiting to find the killer, you gotta let justice prevail. Guess what? Justice never prevailed. But guess how justice prevailed? We heard a loud chant one day with a whole bunch of brothers, seemed like it was thousands of them. They was coming down the street. We fired up. We ain't taking no more. We fired up. We ain't marching toward the white neighborhood. We got up to that white neighborhood. The police had it all blocked off, and they were saying nobody else couldn't get past that point. Guess what? The police and the old heads got into a confrontation. They told us to go back. You know why? You know why they told us to go back? That late night, they snuck up in that community, and it was folks laid out. Do you know we never had a problem going to school after that no more? That was the end of our problem. All that sniping from the roof, shooting us down, man, we went to school in peace because they knew it was consequence. Justice was coming.
You know what? I'm not gonna.
I'm just saying. I hope
No,
that wasn't.
no,
Hey,
no.
Prince, I hope that wasn't wrong.
Oh, that was good.
But
I gotta keep it 100.
I wanna say something on the lines of that because I had this thought a long time ago, but I don't
Say it.
No,
Come on, man.
no. Listen. I'll say it off camera because again, you gotta watch the frequencies that you're putting out, and I don't want to confuse the masses off of my thought process, but I understand that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? And that process, because at some point I felt like in this day and age, the marching is not going to be enough. Of course. It's
Say that, man. Come on, nah. We ain't confused. This is what this is about. You don't know this.
I'm gonna keep it PG, but it's margin is not gonna be enough, So it's like when I because it's a game, and it's a game to them, So for some people it's really personal. A couple of weeks ago, maybe it was like a couple of months ago, the Kings. It was the Kings. I don't know what it is, but it was terrible. And the reason why I say it was terrible in my part, because I'm watching videos, and even though it's happening all over the globe, right? People are dressed up in Pikachu outfits and costume. That's a joke. Like what purpose are you really serving? What justice are you? I don't care. You can stand outside of these political buildings and say we want this and nothing is happening. We've been doing this for years, and they wonder why my generation, the generation under me, don't care about none of that stuff, because nothing it's not doing anything. It's a joke. You're protesting and you got a Pikachu outfit on. What like but it's people out there that's agreeing with it, they high fiving each other, then they go back to their merry old lives, and a lot of them have those corporate jobs, and they good, they good, but the people who's really being affected is my aunts and uncles who still using welfare, and who's still using EBT cards and trying to take cash assistance, and they trying to shut that stuff down. They're not getting affected by that stuff. All this stuff is a game to me. So I don't even like getting into that whole realm, because for me, if it was up to me, it'd be a total different situation.
That order.
That order.
I mean, we gonna have to get to the point to where we see what's playing out, and we're gonna have to get to the point to where we really gonna have to take our community seriously, right? And not be worried about whether we got this ally with this person. I mean, if you ally, you okay, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, we got to be worried about us, and that's where we fall short at so many times, right? Because we not worried about us and what we doing. Yeah. Once we hone in on that and hone in, okay, this is what's going on in our community, and start to execute moves on how to better that situation in our community, we gonna come up short every time. Because if we look at the tricks that they played before with the NAACP and all of this, I mean, the head of that organization was a white guy, Jewish guy. So at the end of the day, that organization that they created for us wasn't created by us, and we shouldn't even be exactly. So we shouldn't even be really. I'm pretty sure they done had some little trinkets that they done threw out there that they can say, oh well, it came in, we did this, we did, but nah. Any real progress is gonna come from us within, and that's gonna be us creating some type of structure to where we have formed it to where it's taking care of us, and we can't let no outsiders get into that. So
Ain't nobody coming to save us but us.
That's right. And can I say something with the dealing with the cameras? See, now this is cool because we putting out what we need to hear right now with the cameras. But as a community, we got to know when to shut them damn cameras off.
Right.
When it's time to take care of the business, you see your grandmom getting slapped by the police, man, everybody take the cameras off so brothers can handle their business. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you doing this, you putting everybody on Front Street, brother wanted to bring some justice, now he looked around, you done put him all out there, now you understand what I'm saying? You gotta know when to turn these off, because it's a time, right, it's a time where this ain't supposed to come out. When the injustice is being done to our women, our babies, our grandmothers, our mothers, this got to go down. Put the phone down. You understand? So even if you afraid to put your phone down, man, because that's, oh man, now you talking about a pet peeve. I hate to see that. Mm-hmm. I see a woman getting beat down by somebody of another community and disrespected or slapping, and a man sitting there, a brother sitting there with a phone. Man, I be trying to get through the screen, man. How you gonna sit there and film that, man? You don't fit, man, please. My phone be on the roof somewhere, man. But my thing is, why would you film now the man that's not afraid? You keeping him from bringing justice. Why? Because he don't want the law coming on him because you filming him.
Our mentality is shot. Yeah. It really is, and it's really unfortunate. I will want to see. I don't know what we're missing in the community. We need more of this. We need more mentors. We need more rec centers. We need more pro-Black activities, and just people speaking to the youth and allowing them to have a voice to speak and letting the elders know what's going on. If a child is telling you they was being touched, talk to them. Believe them. Let them understand that you hear what they saying. Don't just do nothing about it. If a child is acting out and they acting out in school, no child is just acting out just because. You know what I'm saying? It's studies that are going to tell you like something is going on in the household. When I was in school, when I was taking some classes in PG, I was taking psychology classes, and there was a study about a child who they kept peeing in the bed, and they were trying to figure out like, why is the child keep peeing in the bed? So they end up doing a session with the parents, found out they was constantly arguing, right? Once the parents had stopped arguing or whatever it was, the child stopped using the bathroom in the bed. Like it was something crazy like that was happening. But a lot of times it starts in the household at some point. But the conversations is the parents don't think that they're the problems. You know what I'm saying? Oh, these kids is just terrible. Like, no, it's stuff going on. Like we not talking. We're not talking like they talk down the kids and is because I'm the parent, you're less than, and that's how the youth be feeling sometimes. Like you got to be able to sometimes take your parent to side out and talk to them as if you was their friend, not telling you to treat them like your friend, but talk to them so they'd be open to say, look, man, this is what's been going on with me. I've been hurting this way. I've been hurting that way. I think I seen this couple, they was cool. They said, every once in a blue moon, when they have issues, they take their relationship out of it and they talk to each other as friends. I need to talk to my wife. I need to talk to my husband as just my friend without any judgment. I should be able to say what I have to say, and it should be like any backdraw. And then after we have this conversation, then we back to a regular routine. It should be like that in the households. It's so much stuff that's going on, but that's another thing.
I will say this one last thing. You mentioned that we need pro-black movements and things like that of examples, right? We got it. It's just that we gotta look at it, right? The Nation of Islam is one of those things. People talk about pro-black movements, this and that. Aside from the theology part of it, right? If you look at the principles of it that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad set in place, and the Minister Louis Farrakhan carries that on to this day, we would have been this is for the viewers out there, we would have been way better off as a people if we had to just sit down and listen to those things, right? So we do got it. I think we in the mind frame of where we want to ignore certain things because we don't necessarily like where it's coming from, right? But we gotta get past that, because that's, if we're trying to see anything of progression in our communities, and we've tried many other things, but we haven't tried that, right? So if you try that and then it don't work, then okay. But
It's like it got to be accessible, like because it's like we don't have any teachings in the rec centers. You know what I'm saying? You don't really see it. It's certain stuff I didn't learn about until I got older. I was in DC for a long time, and there's a lot of stuff I didn't know nothing about. You know what I'm saying? Even the NAACP, I knew nothing about it until I got an adult.
Exposure was later.
It was later, so it has to be
Exposed.
it has to be out there. You know what I'm saying?
So that's what he's saying. So because it's there, right? But now it's almost like we're still trying to operate in a burning building, right? So it's not going to be in their rec centers no more. It's not going to be in their schools no more. But it is a little bit of people right here that's making it known. But when you talked about we need now support got to come in, right? So now God got us in the valley of decision, right? It's just, all right, you ain't no more straddling the fence. What side gate you on? Pick your side, right? Because it's there, but we are not supporting it, because it's like you said, it's the little theology of it, or the lifestyle, the discipline of it. I don't feel like it, I'm still comfortable over here. I still don't want to. No, God gonna force us to discipline now, right? And then until we do that, then because we can change overnight. That's why everything in this cliche, I know we've been saying it all night, unity this, unity that, but it's real. We haven't tried it yet. And what does unity look like? right? You know what I'm saying? Do what does unity look like? We get
Come
all
on
our,
with it. Come on with it.
you know, we get all our desires in alignment. What do you want out of life? Okay, you got something similar? All right.
What is our goal?
What is
Nobody,
our goal?
and I tell everybody, we as a community, I know we got to wrap up too, but nobody has set a goal as a whole. We have, somebody have set a goal, white people, those that are empowered, they know what their goal is for us. But we actually as a people, whether it's the Christians, Muslims, Hebrew Israelites, all came together and said, look, this is what the hell we gonna do.
I would have to say 1996, the Million Man Walk.
Yeah, but there was no goal still set. When I said goal being set, what I mean by goal, where the fuck is we trying to go? And that's what I mean by goal as a collective. Talk to.
There's on the back page, a lot of people sleep on what they call the Constitution, where we talk about what we want, what we believe. Our goals is there.
Yeah.
We want a separate territory. See, no, listen to what I'm saying. I'm about something I was
There's
going to have
goals
you
by the
point.
nation. The nation has.
No, I'm not talking about for the
hold on.
nation. I'm talking about black as a whole.
Yes, but I'm talking
Well, hold
about
on, hear me out,
everybody
though.
got this.
Right, but
you
we
got
not.
to get everybody in tune
But
with
the
this
key-
one goal.
Right. So my point
The
is,
goal is there.
My point is, everybody has to see that this is the only solution. As long as people fighting the solution, oh, that's the Muslims. Oh, I can't go
that's
with
what I'm
that.
saying.
Oh, but hear me out. If the key is separation, and you keep determined you want to integrate, it's like a woman who's in love with a no good husband or no good man, and he keep beating her up, and everybody say, man, get away from her,
You
man.
need to-
And
yeah.
she said, I would leave him, but he just said, I love him so much. And now, guess what? After a while,
They need
everybody
to.
was
They
saying,
need to.
he
They
need a key.
lead them. Let them be. But the ones who
That's
gonna do
what we
it,
dealing
come
with.
together.
Yeah, that's why I
Well,
said
That's what we dealing
or,
with the
valid
solution.
or what you do, you find people who will, who can go and talk, and bring people to the table and have this conversation. Because once you get me, I was in prison. I learned to build with everybody. You know how to build with everybody. Until you can build and talk the language of everybody, you ain't talking about nothing.
That's what I said. So that's why I say. So that goal was set before when he brought
He bought the people.
2 million people, and they had a goal, and the goal was put out, right? So now it was up to the people at the time. That's 1996. So now we got a whole nother generations that done came. But okay, that generation in 1996 may have failed.
That's what I was about to say. Somehow it wasn't
Yeah.
consistent
Yeah,
somewhere
because
that didn't.
because it was
the
put,
reason why
it
it
was
didn't
put out.
consist.
It was put out of what to do. It was just of who's gonna hold on to it, right? Now we at that point again. So
But now you
now
gotta
it's
be
time.
forced
Now,
into it.
now you're gonna be forced into it because it
Yeah,
was,
now
it was
you
put
gotta
out.
be forced.
It was
God
put out.
gonna make it forced.
So and that's the thing too. Yeah, whether it's generations later, right? And we say, you know, we talking about God. He did put it out there. You know what I mean? And he gave it to you. So it ain't like
You didn't want it.
you know, we can say, well, that was them back then. Well, now we can investigate what happened back then. You know what I mean? We can investigate what happened back then and see where they fell short at back then, and now we can pick that up and try to go ahead with it. Right? But he's still at the point of where, you know, people ignore it, right? Because the plan, and that's on the back of the final call, right? That plan ain't for Muslims. That plan
it's
is
for the whole.
yeah,
For the
for the
whole.
whole. That's what it was created for. So,
It's a fact, man. It's a beautiful
but
point.
that's just it got to get back to that unity thing. And so once we start to accept these things and start to act on them, then we'll be better off, man. But you know, I don't want to keep holding this up, but look, this was one of the greatest conversations right here, and I want to say thank you to my man Antoine for sharing.
Share his stuff. Share your stuff.
Where you can find
Where
you,
how
you know.
people can find you, and yeah, make sure you give us that.
Off the top of my head, but my name is Antoine Hall. I'm an artist. You can find me at on Instagram, Antoine Hall _, Facebook, Antoine Nipsey Hall. Everything is Antoine Hall. You put it in Google, it's gonna pop up. So
Yeah, it's gonna be in the captions. We're gonna have some captions and stuff anyway. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I appreciate y'all. This is another episode of the Hot Seat. We'll see you next time.
Oh, good job. Pictures.
Let's get it. Let's get it.